Wow, you can't know how frustrating this is. I made 4 videos yesterday and none of them worked. I've made the last video today and it didn't cut me off, you guys. I just made another one though and it didn't work. It didn't cut me off. I couldn't think anymore and I shut it off and I had a nap and I've woken up with the worst headache possible, imaginable. But anyway, I need to clarify what I was saying, and that is that we need to get the word out about hepatitis C, because when I was diagnosed a year and a half ago, I found out that I've had this virus for over 20 years. Now, had I still been using and using a needle, I only made a mistake once. I shared a needle once with a boyfriend of 7.5 years that I lived with. I was desperate that one day. I didn't have my own, and I shared the needle with him, and voila! That's how I got it. And I just ran into a friend recently, an old friend I haven't seen in many years that we used to hang out with. His wife, he told me, died 2 years ago from, guess what, hepatitis C. He had just gotten out of the hospital the day I ran into him. Hepatitis C. He looked like a walking dead man. I would not be surprised. It was about 2 months ago I saw him. I would not be surprised if he's no longer with us today. Rod, I hope if you're watching, you're here. He relayed a lot of names of people that we used to hang out with back in the day. I mean, I'm not a junkie anymore, but back in the 80s I was, and all of the people that I know from back then apparently have this disease. Now, 20 years I've carried this disease, more than 20 years. Had I still been a junkie, had I still been using, imagine the people I would have infected. Imagine the people that these people that I used with, all of them, are infecting every day, right? So you need to know if you have this, and there are other ways to get it. I've talked about some of the other ways. When you go and get your blood work, it can't hurt to ask your doctor to throw hepatitis C on that form. Please do so, just so you know and everybody else knows that you don't have this disease. Or if you do have this disease, then you can deal with it. So that kind of just, the first time, okay, well, let me also say the first time I ever heard about hepatitis C was in the late 80s. I think it was about 89, when my boyfriend and I used to use with this couple. They were my parents' age, and we hung out with them a lot at their house and such. And she used to complain, her name was Dolores, and she used to complain every day how tired she was all the time. She couldn't figure out why she was so tired. She's the first person I ever knew that got diagnosed, and then her husband was diagnosed years later. He's probably had it the whole time too. So anyway, I just want to educate you guys. I want to tell you about what I'm going through on my treatment, but not so much that as to get the word out and to have people be tested. I believe that it should be a mandatory test. It is not. You need to ask for it, and it cannot hurt. So please, guys, get on it. Thanks. Have a good day. I'll check back with you as soon as I can. Oops, wrong mouse.